Hundreds of thousands today took to the streets across France to protest against working more. They're trying to force President Emmanuel Macron to reverse a new, deeply unpopular law, raising the retirement age from 62 to 60.
The state pension age in the UK is 66 for both men and women, which is set to rise to 67.
In France, President Emmanuel Macron is bypassing Parliament and invoking special constitutional powers to raise the country's retirement age. That move puts him at odds with France's legislative branch and millions of protesters who streamed into the Place de la Concorde in Paris yesterday, clashing with police.
In 5 minutes, I'm going to catch you up on the financially independent retire early movement, how you can easily calculate your FIRE number, and the absolute best way to get there at the end. Okay, let's go. You can probably tell why this movement is so popular from the news. 30 years ago, Michael Jackson made headlines for performing at the Super Bowl halftime show, and literally the entire world watched. Side note, imagine being such an icon that just standing on stage in silence had the crowd reacting like this. Very cool. Drake could never. Anyway, the FIRE movement is so popular today for several reasons, one of which is that maybe younger workers are smarter than baby boomers and don't think working until 65 years of age only to enjoy 10 to 15 good years of freedom is worth it. And I'll give them that. I actually agree here. My grandparents worked their entire lives and found themselves not able to retire at the end at all because the cost of living had gone up so high. Now, that's sad, but it's not unique. This happens to millions of people. So the FIRE movement is the counter to that. Right now is the easiest time in history to retire early and travel because of so much technology. We're going to talk about these at the end, but 30 years ago, there was virtually no way for a 20-year-old YouTuber to design a game show and generate views like a Hollywood blockbuster. But that's exactly what Mr. Beast did.
I recreated every single set from Squid Game in real life, and whichever one of these four...
YouTube did that, technology did that, so it makes sense, doesn't it? That more options for freedom equals more freedom. So, the FIRE movement stands for the Financially Independent Retire Early movement. The idea behind it is to save and invest aggressively when you're young, in order to accumulate enough wealth to retire early, often in your 30s or 40s. It's a lifestyle choice that involves living frugally, investing wisely, and achieving financial freedom ASAP. Cool, you've probably heard YouTubers like Graham Stephan and Andre Jick talk about it.
Everything that you need to know about achieving financial independence in the next 15 minutes. Don't believe me? Well, just watch the video to see for yourself.
Even good old Dave Ramsey had thoughts.
The shortest distance between where you are now and wealth. Where you are, if you'll live like no one else later, you can live and give like no one else. What is the shortest distance? And we need a path to run on, because the way you eat an elephant, it's overwhelming. Do I do my 401k with the match, or my kid's college? Or do I have an emergency fund? Or do I pay on this 18% credit card debt? Or, and nothing gets done. You get paralysis of the analysis, you get frozen.
Absolutely. And this step, these baby steps have worked for me. They've worked for millions, and it's really simple. If you do it, they work.
It's sort of a big deal. And here's how you calculate it. You start by tracking all of your expenses over a given month. And it's important to be honest here. That means including all those Barbie and Ken dolls you've been collecting because you keep telling yourself it's a good investment. It's not, Kevin. That's right. You heard me. I know you thought at first they were a good investment for the future, and one day someone would offer you an insane amount of money for your entire collection. But your family is worried about you, Kevin. Kevin, your mum is tired of you filling her house with these things. Look at me, Kevin. For the love of all that is holy, just stop it. And then you want to categorize your expenses into different areas, such as rent, transportation, food, entertainment, and so on. Add up the total amount spent in each category and then multiply by 12 to get your annual expenses. But keep in mind that your annual expenses may change over time due to factors such as inflation or changes in your lifestyle. So it's a good idea to add a buffer to your estimated expenses when calculating your FIRE number. Adding 20% is a good buffer. This is your annual expense number. Multiply that by 25 and you'll have your FIRE number. For example, if your annual expenses are $40,000, your FIRE number is $1 million. Now that's all well and good, but I wanted to find a faster way to get to FIRE, or at least experience retiring early without necessarily having $1 million saved. So I hopped onto good old Google and searched how to achieve FIRE fast. All that came up was generic tips like living on less or starting a side hustle, but I wanted to get more specific. So I engaged Big Brain and I thought a long time on this.
A few moments later.
By Jove, I think he's got it. What if I was able to generate enough income from somewhere every month that covered 2 to 3 times my monthly expenses? Now, if I did that, not only would I not have to work, but I would be able to invest more and more as time went on with the money I didn't spend. That's when I came across this word, assets. I was sold. Into the YouTube multiverse I went looking for assets like Pokemon. Yes, vending machines, house hacking, online stores, yes, ATMs, ebooks, courses, yes, wholesaling, Amazon FBA. Whoa, easy, Tiger. I think we might need another video to see what happened next.